Yo, I have been obsessed with Austin Kleon's books lately. You know that feeling when you read something and it just clicks? It is not advice, it is a whole mindset shift. That is exactly what these three books did for me. I blew through Show Your Work, Keep Going, and Steal Like an Artist last month. So today I want to do a deep dive, share my favorite lessons, the quote that hit me like a ton of bricks, and why these books are absolute must-reads for anyone who creates or wants to create. Sounds good? Let's get into it. Steal Like an Artist. First up, Steal Like an Artist. This book is the ultimate guide for anyone who's ever felt stuck, unoriginal, or even unsure about where to start. Kleon's core idea is, nothing is original. Every artist steals, but the key is stealing the right way. What a good artist understands is that nothing comes from nowhere. All creative work builds on what came before. Nothing is completely original. And one quote wrecked me. You are in fact a mashup of what you choose to let into your life. You are the sum of your influences. Boom. Your taste, your work, your favorite influencers, it's all the stuff you love remixed. Kleon says, to cheat ethically, study your heroes, and then twist their ideas into your own thing. The German writer Goethe said, we are shaped and fashioned by what we love. He talks about keeping a swipe file, a stash of cool stuff to remix later. I started one, and now my note app is a chaos graveyard of half-packed ideas. First, you have to figure out who to copy. And second, you have to figure out what to copy. Who to copy is easy. You copy your heroes, the people you love, the people you're inspired by, the people you wanna be. And you don't just steal from one of your heroes, you steal from all of them. And what to copy is a little bit trickier. Don't just steal the style. Steal the thinking behind the style. You don't want to look like your heroes. You want to see like your heroes. The reason to copy your heroes and their style is so that you might somehow get a glimpse into their minds. That is what you really want, to internalize their way of looking at the world. If you just mimic the surface of somebody's work without understanding where they are coming from, your work will never be anything more than a knockoff. Another gem, your job is to collect ideas. The more ideas you collect, the more you can choose from to influenced by. That's why he recommends keeping a swipe file, a place to store inspirations, lessons, quotes, and random ideas. And one thing I really liked is wondering. First step, go wonder at something. Second step, invite others to wonder with you. You should wonder at the things nobody's wondering about. If everybody's wondering about apples, go wonder about oranges. The more open you are about sharing your passions, the closer people will feel to your work. Artists aren't magicians. And this one hit hard. Write the book you wanna read. Make the music you wanna hear. Create the art you wanna see. The best advice is not to write what you know. It's to write what you like. Write the kind of story you like best. Write the story you wanna read. The same principle applies to your life and your career. Whenever you're at a loss for what move to make next, just ask yourself, what would make a better story? It sounds simple, but how often do we create for other people's approval instead of our own? This book is a permission slip to steal, remix, and make things for yourself first. Final takeaway. Stop waiting for originality and start creating. Steal wisely. Make it yours. Show your work. Next, show your work. If you've ever thought, I'm not ready to share yet, spoiler, you will never feel ready. This book is your wake-up call. Kleon's big message. Process over product. People don't just want to see your polished work. They want to see the process, the messy middle, the messy behind the scenes. His advice is to be an amateur. Share your journey as you learn, not just the final high-quality product. The world is changing at such a rapid rate that it's turning us all into amateurs. Even for professionals, the best way to flourish is to retain an amateur spirit and embrace uncertainty and the unknown. When Radiohead frontman Tom York was asked what he thought his greatest strength was, he answered that I don't know what I'm doing. Like one of his heroes, Tom Waits. Whenever York feels like his songwriting is getting too comfortable or stale, he'll pick up an instrument he doesn't know how to play and try to write with it. This is yet another trait of amateurs. They will use whatever tools they can get their hands on to try to get their ideas into the world. I am an artist man, said John Lennon. Give me a tuba and I'll get you something out of it. That is gold. Instead of waiting to be an expert at something, share your journey as you learn. I started posting my rough drafts, reading notes, quotes, and even my failures. And guess what? Nobody roasted me. Instead, people connected with the real process, not just the highlight reel. The best way to get started on the path to sharing your work is to think about what you want to learn and make a commitment to learn it in front of others. The work is all that's happened in the day. It is a process, not a thing. Another killer line. Share something small every day. The day is the only unit of time you can get. Season changes. Weeks are completely human-made. But the day has a rhythm. Try to go back to what you've done throughout the day and find one little piece of your process that you can share to others. For you, it might look not important, but for others, it does. A daily dispatch is even better than a resume or portfolio because it shows what we are working on right now. It doesn't have to be perfect, just consistent. Kleon calls it thinking out loud. Whether it's a tweet, a blog post, or even a quick sketch, just put it out there. Don't worry about everything you post being perfect. Science fiction writer Theodore Sturgeon once said that 90% of everything is crap. For example, a lot of the ideas in this book started out as tweets, which then became blog posts, which then became book chapters. Small things over time can get big. And this one, it changed how I view my work. Your work doesn't speak for itself. You have to speak for it. Human beings want to know where things came from, how they were made, and who made them. The stories you tell about the work you do have a huge effect on how people feel and what they understand about your work. And how people feel and what they understand about your work affects how they value it. If you don't tell people about what you're making, how will they find it? This book is a masterclass in sharing without shame, because creativity thrives in community. And the 10% rule: spend 90% of your time creating and just only 10% sharing. No overthinking, just ship it. Make stuff you love and talk about stuff you love, and you will attract people who love that kind of stuff. Keep going. Last but definitely not least, keep going. Keep going. This is the ultimate pep talk for when you're burned out or uninspired or even stuck. Kleon doesn't give a fluffy motivation. He gives practical ways to keep sharing, to keep creating, even when life gets messy. One line I wrote from this book on my wall: creative work is a cycle of expansion and contraction. Some days you're a fountain of ideas, and other days you feel like a dried up sponge, and that is absolutely okay, and nothing is wrong with you. His fix is to build a bliss station, a mental, physical place for you to unplug and recharge. You must have a room or a certain hour or so a day where you don't know what was in the newspapers that morning. You don't know who your friends are. You don't know what you owe anybody. You don't know what anybody owes to you. This is a place where you can simply experience and bring forth what you are and what you might be. This is the place of creative incubation. At first, you may find that nothing happens there. But if you have a sacred place and use it, something eventually will happen. I made a corner for myself. No phone, no distractions, just books and my notebook. It is a game changer. Another gem. Take a walk. Feed your brain and feed your thoughts. Walking is good for mental and physical health. It is like a magic cure for anyone who wants to think straight. The people who want to control us through fear and misinformation, the corporations, marketers, politicians want us to be plugged into our phones or watching TV because then they can sell us their vision of the world. If we do not get outside, if we do not take a walk out in the fresh air, we do not see our everyday world for what it really is, and we have no vision of our own with which to combat disinformation. When you are stuck, the answer isn't always to push harder and harder. Sometimes it is to step away. Kleon says, creativity needs space, so take breaks. Guilt-free. What's clear is that it is healthiest if we make a daily appointment to disconnect from the world so that we can connect with ourselves. Kids, jobs, sleep, and 1,000 other things will get in the way, but we have to find our own sacred space, our own sacred time. And it is my mantra now. The ordinary plus extra attention equal the extraordinary. And you don't need a grand, revolutionary idea. Just pay attention to the small things around you. That is where the magic happens. You don't need to have an extraordinary life to make extraordinary work. Everything you need to make extraordinary art can be found in your everyday life. Final thought. This book is like a warm hug for creatives. It is not about hustling harder. It is about persisting smarter. So yeah, Austin Kleon's books, they are short, but they pack a punch. Steal like an artist frees you from originality paralysis. Show your work, pushes you to share before you are ready. And keep going is the survival guide for the long, creative haul. I have got pages and lessons I am still chewing on. How about you? Have you read any of those books? Did a particular quote stick with you? Drop a comment. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe and leave a comment. Your comments mean a lot to me. Thanks for watching. Bye.